The last-minute confession. The air in Charleston, South Carolina was thick with the scent of jasmine and anticipation. The historic downtown streets buzzed with tourists, but inside the elegant, centuries-old Wentworth mansion, a different kind of buzz was brewing. Olivia Beaumont was 2 days away from marrying Ethan Hayes, the love of her life. Their 3-year relationship, culminating in a year-long engagement, had been a dream. Every detail of their grand southern wedding was perfect, from the Spanish moss-draped oak trees on the invitations to the bespoke gown hanging in her suite. But at 6 a.m. that Tuesday morning, the perfect facade shattered. Olivia's phone buzzed with a notification. A long, rambling text from Noah Davies, her best friend since freshman year at Clemson University. They were both now in their early 30s, navigating careers and adulthood, their friendship a constant, comforting presence. As she read Noah's words, a cold dread crept into her stomach. He confessed he'd been in love with her for years, always hoping she'd break up with Ethan and finally notice him. He begged her to call off the wedding, to run away with him. "I needed to tell you before it was too late," the text ended. Olivia felt nauseous, disgusted, and sad. Noah? Her Noah? The guy who'd helped her move apartments, listened to countless rants about bad dates, and had even become a good friend to Ethan? She had zero romantic feelings for him. Zero. Beyond platonic love, there was nothing. Her thumb hovered over the delete button, then typed a furious response, then deleted it again. This was a nightmare. She hadn't even told Ethan yet. How could she burden him with this just 48 hours before their wedding, before the most important day of their lives? But she knew she had to. What stung most was Noah's timing. Over a decade of friendship, countless opportunities, and he chose now, right before she walked down the aisle, as if she'd ditch her fiancé in a meticulously planned wedding because of a damn text message. A fierce protectiveness surged through her. She wanted to tell Noah not to come to the wedding, to stay far away from the Citadel Square Baptist Church. She couldn't trust him not to pull some stunt. The thought of losing her best friend was heartbreaking, but the thought of having him ruin her wedding was terrifying. He'd put her in an impossible, uncomfortable position. It felt unfair that she had to deal with his long-held, unrequited feelings. She wished he'd either cut ties when he realized they'd never be together, or told her years ago. She was crying now, silent tears streaking her face. The sheer audacity, the betrayal of trust, the realization that his decade-long friendship might have been built on ulterior motives. How was she supposed to deal with this when she was supposed to be floating on air, consumed by wedding jitters and joy? Later that evening, after Ethan returned from his brother's bachelor party, Olivia braced herself. She let him settle in, then, heart-pounding, handed him her phone. He read the text. His eyes, usually warm and reassuring, widened, then narrowed with a quiet fury. Olivia, like an idiot, started apologizing. "Liv, you don't owe me an apology for anything," he said, his voice surprisingly calm. He admitted he'd always suspected Noah had a crush, but believed he was respectful. And he had been. Their interactions were always appropriate, a side hug here and there. No physical or emotional boundaries crossed. Olivia even offered her phone, letting him scroll through old messages, proving there was no emotional affair, no leading him on. "What do you want to do?" Ethan asked, holding her hand. "I don't want him at our wedding," Olivia admitted, the words catching in her throat. She was still afraid he'd try something. Together, they drafted a short, firm message. "Noah, I'm sorry you mistook my friendship for something more. The wedding is happening as planned, and it'd be best if you didn't attend. To be clear, Ethan stands by my decision to uninvite you." They included the last part intentionally, knowing Noah might try to blame Ethan. She sent it and waited. He left it on read for a long time. Emily's anxiety spiked. Part of her wanted to block him, cut him off completely. Another part, the part that remembered a decade of shared history, wanted to hear him out, to understand. Finally, a response came. So long she had to click to expand it. It was a torrent of venom. He called her a liar, accused her of leading him on for over a decade. He wished Ethan would leave her, that they would be infertile, spewing one horrific curse after another. Olivia crumbled. Sobs racked her body. Ethan took her phone, his face grim, and walked into the other room. She heard hushed, intense murmurs, but couldn't make out the words. About an hour later, he returned, handed back her phone. "He's blocked on everything," Ethan said, his voice hard. "And the best man and your maid of honor know the situation. They'll handle it if he tries to show." It was like a massive weight had lifted. Honestly, after reading that vile message, the sadness she felt about losing her best friend evaporated, replaced by cold clarity. Their wedding, held under the golden Charleston sun, skiing, rocked. It was truly magical. They had the time of their lives, surrounded by genuine love and laughter. If Noah tried to show up, they never heard about it. It still felt like a dream, walking down the aisle, seeing Ethan's face, feeling utterly adored. The friend, who had professed love, had in one shocking text revealed himself to be a manipulative, entitled stranger. And while the timing was chaotic, his final outburst solidified Olivia's decision, making her realize that sometimes the hardest goodbyes lead to the happiest beginnings. She walked into her marriage with a clearer heart than she ever thought possible, leaving the bitterness of the past behind, ready to build a future with the man who truly loved her. Subscribe to our channel and hear many more interesting stories.